What's happening, guys? Chris, VA Travels. I'm out here at the Appomattox Courthouse. Yeah, the end of the Civil War. Robert E. Lee's, well, basically the end of the Civil War. Robert E. Lee surrendered to Ulysses S. Grant. And yeah, I just took an extensive tour. So if you want to see everything the park has to offer, stick around. But if not, the first thing I check out is the Mclean house, what everybody wants to see. Then I visit the little museum they have, and then I walk the ground. But yeah, so I'll let you know, this is through the National Park Service, so of course it's free, and they are open every day 9 until 4 p.m. So, all right, check this place out. Before I get going, just to give you some history, Appomattox Courthouse was originally called Clover Hill because the Clover Hill Tavern was built here along the Richmond-Lynchburg stage line, the old stagecoach road that ran between Richmond and Lynchburg. And it became the county seat of Appomattox County in 1845. About 100 people lived here. And it was actually already starting to slowly die out because a rail line was built about 3 miles from here. And yeah, those rail lines are what kind of started to kill off the stage roads. But here you go, like I say, quite a complex, several taverns, Ice House, of course the Mclean house, and just a bunch of the Pierce House, Isbell House. So yeah, a lot to check out. There it is, great painting. Yep, Lee and Grant. Take a look at this drawing of the village. Yeah, and the courthouse burned down 1892. About the same time the Mclean house was taken down. Yeah, they took it apart, and they were going to take it up to D.C. as just kind of a history attraction, a tourist attraction, but it never ended up happening. They ran out of money, so it sat in a pile until the 1940s when it was rebuilt, when this whole area was turned into a park. So, okay, all right, get going. Okay, a couple plaques. All right, so the Isbell House. The White House in the distance. I'll walk down there eventually and take a closer look. Some history on the Isbell House. Brothers Henry and Thomas Badcock built this house in 1848. Henry was the court clerk of Appomattox. Thomas served as a U.S. congressman and became the only speaker of the Confederate House of Representatives. So a couple little girls standing outside. Okay, here they are, Henry Babcock, Thomas, Mr. Isbell, and Kitty. Lieutenant Colonel Augustus Root, and he was killed here along the stage road on April 8th. He was part of the 15th New York Cavalry. He was buried in front of the Isbell House, and in December of 1865, he was reinterred up in Syracuse, New York. Of course, where he's from. So pretty neat story. Some buses are rolling in. Down here, here's a shot of the back of the Mclean house, 1892, and that's right before it was taken apart, like I was saying. But yeah, 2 enslaved families lived in the structures behind the Mclean house. So right over here, I guess it would be these 2 white buildings. Yeah, Mary Ann, she raised 3 children. The second family consisted of Betty Love Stewart. And here she is, pictured later in life. And she performed domestic labor at the Mclean house until emancipated. And about half of the population here in Appomattox Courthouse were enslaved individuals. Over here, this green building looks like a general store. It says open, so yeah, it looks like you can go inside. I see a park ranger giving a talk. Well, actually, this is the visitor center. I'm sorry, let me go in here first. I think this is the actual courthouse. Let me see.
Someone had to come on back and look after this place a little bit more than some of those Pennsylvania cavalrymen. And so at the time, folks, us boys in the 188th Pennsylvania, we were 90 miles down the road to the east of us here in Richmond City. Have you folks visited Richmond?
Okay, just stopped off, listened to about a half-an-hour presentation, and the actor was great. And yeah, he explained the whole story. That was really good. There's a pretty big crowd. They all went into the Clover Hill Tavern. right there. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go over to the Mclean house, check that out, and just kind of wrap my way around. Looks like there may be a little ice house to the left in the slave cabins behind the house. And yeah, we're up on a little ridge here. But before I go in, just to give you some history on the house, owned by Wilbur Mclean, moved in 1862. An interesting story, I know that you Civil War buffs will know this, that he originally owned a farm in Manassas, where the first Battle of Manassas was fought. Decided that area was too dangerous, so he wanted to move out to a more peaceful place out in the country. Yeah, so moved down here to Appomattox thinking it's safe, and sure enough, the war came to him. So you can say that Wilbur Mclean owned the property of the first, where the first major battle of the war was fought, and also where it ended, because this is basically where it ended. I mean, yeah, Johnson ended up a few weeks later surrendering down in North Carolina, but yeah, this marked basically the end of the Civil War. So pretty interesting. And it looks like Lee right there, pretty good sketch. Yeah, old drawing of the house. And this is just talking about, yeah, just the surrender. Oh, the house was built in 1848. And there you go, Wilbur Mclean, businessman. Something interesting I'll also tell you about Wilbur Mclean, that he and his brother ran sugar from Cuba through the Union blockade. That's how he made a lot of his money, so pretty interesting. Cool, yeah, almost looks like this would be the back of the house. And yeah, pretty big double portico, pretty wide staircase going up. But let me check this out. They've got a well right out front. Interesting spot to put a well. Oh yeah, so I'll tell you, yeah, it was April 9th, about 1 p.m. Robert E. Lee, the Confederate Army, was camped out kind of down the ridge behind the little town. Yeah, rode up with his aide-de-camp, Colonel Charles Marshall, who was actually the grandnephew of Chief Justice John Marshall. Pretty interesting. So yeah, just the two of them showed up, and Grant came down the stage road. His whole staff came with him. And yeah, he arrived about half an hour after Lee, kind of wearing his muddy uniform. He was in a rush, busted through the Union ranks, just, I guess, excited it was about to end. And Robert E. Lee famously was wearing a pristine uniform because he thought he might be taken prisoner. Yeah, didn't know what was going to happen. So anyway, yeah, let me go in and take the tour. Cool, guys, just made it inside. This is super cool. I'm in here. And yeah, central passage, you know, they would have had a good cross breeze going through here in the summertime. And here's George with his sword. Old desk and chair. John Gibbon. Yeah, divisional commander. He was down there at Fredericksburg, down at the Salter Pen. And here it is, guys, the parlor. This is where it took place. Wow, pretty cool. Robert E. Lee sat right there, like I say, with Charles Marshall and a whole gaggle. Grant had about 9 people with him, so this would have been a pretty crowded room. And yeah, Grant sat right there, wrote out the terms. Cool, a couple of smaller chairs back there. And who is that? I can't quite make out. The Courtship of Washington. Oh, so that's George right there, and Martha. A couple nice porcelain vases. Yeah, I kind of want to soak this place in. Pretty nice frame on that picture. It looks like someone shipwrecked on an island. I don't know what's going on over there. And what is this? Oh yeah, this is kind of a famous painting right there. Yeah, like I say, Grant had his entire staff. Robert E. Lee's got his little Monopoly Man glasses on. So here they are right here. And I thought Custer was in here. I'm not seeing his name offhand, but yeah, Sheridan, like I say. Robert T. Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln's son. Yeah, so yeah, they are definitely excited. And I'm sure Robert E. Lee, I'm not sure what he would have been thinking. I'm sure just relieved and you show them mutual respect. I need to ask it and see how much of this is original. Landscape over here. And I think I had heard the original desk is actually in Chicago, oddly enough. I'll have to check on that, but definitely pretty cool. All right, over here, this crest. A couple seals. I wonder where his family's from. Interesting. Would it be Wales? I see the dragons there. Definitely interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen seals on a family crest. All right, so yeah, master bedroom. Check out the size of that trunk down there. That's a serious headboard on that bed. And that's a serious chiffero right there. Wow. Yeah, a couple nice leather trunk right there. Kind of little hat box right there. Oh, a little crib that rocks. I do wish they had a little write-up. It'd be nice to know what furniture is original, if any. But yeah, just a writing desk. Zoom in. Cool. Oh yeah, another little leather trunk right there. Rocking chair. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs. All right, 2 rooms up here. Yeah, another huge chiffero back there. Kind of an interesting little wall shelf right there. Yeah, you see that? Okay, trundle bed down there below where the kids would have slept. Wash basin. Just a toothbrush over there. Kind of oddly, they've got a spinning wheel up here. Another nice porcelain vase back there. And pretty cool turnings on that bed frame. And check out this chair, wow. Nice back on that thing. And is that an old sewing machine? Definitely interesting. Old mercury mirror back there. Okay, we have another bedroom over here. Another giant chiffero. Somebody was eating on a biscuit. And it looks like Andrew Jackson. Kind of glares hitting it. Yeah, it's Jackson. Tall back rocking chair. Oops. I can't read what that is. Yeah, another trunk, kind of a little summer hat on top, and yeah, little wash up area. Cool. All right, so low ceiling, steep steps. Okay, there's more to see down here. It's over here. Okay, yeah, just got the stove down here. Take a bath right there. And a kind of little pie cabinet right there. Wish I could see the plate right there, see where that thing was made. Obviously the dining room over here. I see a ham, Virginia ham back there. Kind of a smaller than a chicken. But yeah, nice spread, pickles, biscuits, some beets. A nice chiffre over here. Nice shell design. And I'm surprised they don't have the little kind of claw feet. Oh, all right. So back there, that bureau. Yeah, they used to put toenails on the claws because the people who designed those had actually never seen I guess a tiger's foot. They thought they had toenails. But yeah, nice bureau. And that looks pretty old right there. And there's Washington again. Pretty cool. Let's see if there's anything. Alright, just another view. I don't know if maybe the servants ate right there or... Cool. Oh, small little door right there, a little closet under the stairs it looks like. Alright guys, I feel like I don't want to leave. But I guess I've seen everything, so just show off this chair. And that's it. Alright, so let's walk the grounds. Alright, you've got a belt of headers right here. And the smokehouse site. So you had a smokehouse right over there, it looks like. Obviously an outhouse over here. Let me just go take a peek. Dovetail design on this little, I guess, yeah, this is the slave cabin. So just a whitewashed building. They all seem to be like the duplex. They always have that chimney, it seems, most. Up on a stone foundation. And I thought I might see some corn stalks on the ground. Sometimes they put those there, and you know what those were used for? And a lot of times you'll see the moon and the stars. The moon were for females, and the star meant it was a men's bathroom. But I'm sure most of the time they were just unisex. But let me take a look in here. Okay, obviously that's where the room was. You see the end of those studs. Cool. Alright, so yeah, this is the enslaved quarters. Lots of ladder back chairs in here. And a little loft up there. Oh, is that a fire? Yeah, fireplace over there. Okay, rocking chair right there. And peek into this other room. Alright, so just playing some cards. Some potatoes over there. Yeah, really small fireplace. Again, another one of these kind of pie kind of cabinets. Little storage cabinet. Rope bed back there. And yeah, these chairs are pretty thrashed out, so is that trunk. Interesting, it is a lot cooler in here. Yeah, it was 40 some degrees out here this morning, but it's going to get up to 70, and I imagine it's in the low 60s now. A squirrel hanging out right there, eating a nut. Okay, so, oh yeah, first of all, let me take a look at the back of the house. Let me walk up in here. Oh, all right. So just going over slavery to emancipation. Yeah, just going over slavery here at the courthouse. Down here, 1850, 1.1 million pounds of tobacco were harvested in Appomattox County. This is almost double the 1860 amount, nearly triple, I'm sure, yeah, the 1870 amount. Hannah Reynolds, a slave woman, killed during the battle. Oh, yeah. So this Charles, I'm not going to pronounce his last name, one of 171 free people of African descent living here. Okay, he ran a blacksmith shop, alright. And yeah, the slave trade, yeah, the Gold Coast. Most went to Brazil, South America, and the Caribbean. Up here, the southern part of the country. The only civilian casualty, Dr. Samuel Coleman's house, 1950s. Yeah, things in pretty rough shape. Over here, the studs. Okay, so yeah, okay, that's the shot that killed Hannah, the slave I just was talking about earlier. Okay, we've got a banjo down here. That was a popular instrument slaves used. Just 3 strings on this thing. Well, kind of a 4th, I'm sorry. So, alright, some of the enslaved workers here. Betty Jones, she was born a slave and was just old enough to remember seeing the soldiers gathering for surrender. Family oral history says that Betty learned how to read and write from the children of the slaveholder's family. Betty married Marion Isbell, one of the 4 sons by the slave Kitty. Walk around, just peek in real quick from the other side. I've got that closed off. I'll just poke my head in here. Like I say, I think that's going to be a nice house, but I'll take a look once I walk out of here. All right. There's a lot of pots, pretty decent spread over here. You've got some squash, lettuce, more biscuits, eggs. Oh, big old fish right there. Probably caught that, obviously, off in the Appomattox. Okay, pretty cool. All right, let me wrap around and walk on out of here. Let me just take a quick peek inside this, what I think is the ice house. Pretty steep pitched roof over there. Good shot. All right, let me see what's in here. Yup, sure enough. Well, I don't know. It's probably filled in with dirt. But, yeah, I see little clippers back there where they would have picked up the ice blocks. So that would have gone down 10, 18 feet. That's where they store the ice. And yeah, I'm sure back then, a couple times during the winter, the Appomattox would freeze. They'd cut out some ice blocks, stick it down there, kind of cover it in sawdust, hay, whatever, and yeah, then you would have ice and keep goods cool. So cool. Oh, all right, so you can see originally a lot smaller. Okay, yeah, all right, now let me go around. Oh, yeah, I can tell you kind of a funny story about when Lee and Grant met. When Grant arrived, they had about half an hour to kill just while paperwork and whatnot was getting worked out. And Grant was excited to meet Lee. I mean, this is a big deal, first of all. They just, they were finishing up a 4-year war. Grant had spent the last year chasing Lee down. And yeah, so Grant was kind of excited to meet him. I mean, this is the elusive gray fox, the mythical Robert E. Lee. In the military world, he's kind of a legend, you know, second in his class there at West Point. So yeah, when they met, Grant was pretty anxious to talk to him. So he kind of runs up to him, or not runs up to him. He was like, hey, we both went to West Point. He was like, oh, do you remember we met down at the Mexican-American War? And Lee kind of looked over at him like, I don't remember you, dork. And anyway, Grant felt kind of slighted, but anyway, they got past that. All right, we've got a barn over here, and just looks like a carriage over here. Let me first walk over here. Take a look at this. Okay, so yeah, this is just, it looks like it's used for hauling supplies, I would guess. So yeah, just an old clapboard, little kind of hay kind of barn area up there, and kind of a nicer carriage over here. And yeah, okay, pretty nice. Cool. Yeah, the only thing I wish is they had a little plaque just talking about the carriage, when it was built, what it's called. That would be kind of cool, but yeah. So let me walk over real quick. I see this strangely pruned cedar, and it looks like there's a grave right there. Maybe it's that slave lady that died by friendly fire. And walk over real quick. And yeah, talk about a nice day. I mean, great breeze blowing, perfect temperature. Yeah, talk about catching some fresh air. But, oh, I see some sort of monument obelisk down there. I'll get to it. I've got a map in my pocket. All right, so Lafayette W. Meeks. And what is that design up there? I can't make that out. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But born 1843. Died in defense of his country, October 4th, 1861, at Fairfax Courthouse. Why is he down here? Yeah, let me see. All right, so this is saying the same thing. He was a member of the Appomattox Rangers, in which company he served faithfully in the battles of Bull Run and Manassas. I thought those were the same battle, but yeah, by Mr. Goddess of Lynchburg. Private Meeks. He died in Camp of Fever. So there's his initials right there. Named, I'm sure, after Marquis de Lafayette. And like I say, very interesting cedar right here. April 12th, stacking of the arms, that's where it took place. And it was actually led by Joshua Chamberlain, obviously of Gettysburg fame. But yeah, that's where the Confederates marched down, the infantry, the 12th, laid down their arms. And yeah, Grant let them keep their horses because the Confederates, those were their personal private horses, their sidearms. So he was pretty lenient. And one of the reasons they say that a day or two prior, Grant had first sent a letter to Lee saying, hey, the jig's up. I think it's pretty clear now that, yeah, that your army's done. And Lee read the letter, and Longstreet looked over and said, it's not time, not now. And Lee also, from what I had read, decided it wasn't his time because Grant had the reputation as unconditional surrender Grant. So he thought if he stalled him and said no the first time, that when it happened again, he'd be a little bit more lenient. But yeah, anyway, I don't know what this is right here. Cool. All right, yeah, let me walk over another outhouse right here, and I might make my way over to that building. Old Hogshead right there. Looks like they give out and do some lectures right there. Anyway, so wait, what is this building? Yeah, some sort of, let's see what's in here. Just probably for storage. Yeah, shelves over here. Lots of plates. Pie, there's some buckets up there. Yeah, a few jugs down there. Kind of a small pot, not quite the size of a cauldron. Just a little writing desk. You can see these things, how they're jointed down there with the pegs. Yeah, small little office, Morgan Turk. And yeah, just a little writing desk right there. Yeah, it looks like some ink wells on there. Yeah, another old trunk. What is this? It says marker. SILASC herring marker. Patented, yeah, an old safe out of New York. Huh, cool. And it's got some wheels on it and up here. The first trial by jury. Okay, cool. F. Meeks General Store. Let's see what's in here. All right. Okay, they've got that locked. Oh, all right. So yeah, the post office right here. Okay, Francis Meeks, it looks like. I see a box for. And pretty neat dispenser right here. Can't quite make that out. From Ohio, it says something. Scale, look at that dish. It has the blue willow pattern. Back here, iron and alum water. Bunch of elixirs and remedies. Noah's fever remedy. Candles, cordage. Oh, up here we've got magic oil. Will cure rheumatism. Bellingham's stimulating unguent for hair and whiskey. I don't know what that is. You got some shoes back there. Okay, all right, pretty cool stove. Just a couple spittoons down there. Smokers and chewers will please spit on each other and not on the stove. Okay. And okay, a couple blocks of cheese. Some tobacco twist over here. Tobacco cutter. And way back there, I see 50 pounds of brown sugar. Oh, all right, so the Plunkett Meek store, the store was built in 1850 by John Plunkett. Okay, at the time of the surrender, it was owned by Albert Francis Meeks. All right, yeah, pretty neat items in here. Yeah, so visitor center, and this was the original Appomattox Courthouse. Well, the original burned down, like we had read, 1892. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. In Virginia, they would name the towns where the courthouse was. So-and-so Courthouse, Spotsylvania Courthouse, Appomattox Courthouse. So this is the Appomattox Courthouse in Appomattox Courthouse. Dun, da, da, da.
So this is the whole area. This is all the dining places. Downtown, it lists what's downtown. So there are some more places to sit. A large amounts of downtown.
Cool. Oh yeah, we've got a timeline up here where it all started, Fort Sumter. And yeah, just a week later, 5 days later, Virginia seceded. And their first secession convention was about a week before. April 12th, they voted no, not to leave. But after Fort Sumter, we were like, yeah, we're getting up in this. So, okay, cool. Yeah, we know who this is. General Custard, and he led the way when the Appomattox station was captured the day prior, yeah, April 8th. And yeah, they got there first, burned all the rations, and yeah, and that was the final straw. Yeah, 3rd Division had captured in one day 120,000 rations, 1,000 prisoners, 25 pieces of artillery, and they cut off Lee's retreat. So, yeah, and that's when they were totally done. Yeah, they had a little video playing here a minute ago, and yeah, just taking you through the campaign. Check out this flag of the Oneida Cavalry out of New York, Independent Cavalry Company. This flag was presented to Lieutenant James Jenkins of the unit by the Patriotic Young Ladies of Vermont and New York in March of 1862. Silk flag, pretty nice. And here he is right here, born in Vernon, New York, June 22nd, 1842. He was a student of Hamilton College. And here's a picture of the Battle of Five Forks, the big breakthrough at Petersburg. And yeah, I need to get over there to the Pamplin Park. Okay, so this is a historically inaccurate painting, but still a really good painting nonetheless. And it was painted by a French artist who lived in Richmond during the war. And there's Marshall back there. And this is considered to be the most accurate painting. Illustration done by Tom Lavelle. Yeah, really good painting. Wow, yeah, Grant looks anxious. You can tell. They kind of all do. And, all right, we've got a key over here. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Custard, he was not present. Okay, that's why he wasn't at the other, in the other painting that I saw back inside the Mclean house. But yeah, you have to think, just relief is, yeah, Sheridan sticks out. Okay, so down here, this was the flag of truce, this towel here. Yep, sent by Confederate forces on the 9th. Check out this pine tabletop right here. And this is where the final agreement was signed, and that would be on April 10th. And it finalized Lee's surrender to Grant the day prior. And it was signed by Generals Gibbon, Griffin, Merritt, Confederate Generals Longstreet, Gordon, and Pendleton. Yeah, there are definitely some cool items in here. So about 8:30 p.m., yeah, April 10th it says there. Oh, and this table was owned by Gibbon. Oh, there, yeah, so. All kinds of paintings of the surrender over here. And this one, Lee's got his back to Grant. So down here, this is Peace and Union, done by Tom Nast. Nast, N-A-S-T, 1895. And this lithograph is from 1867. Even more people in the room. Okay, so it's got their names down here. $1897. And this one over here, 1865, done by J.L.G. Ferris. Let Us Have Peace, it's called. Over here, some Confederate bills. 2010, there's 100 up there. A couple hundreds. Oh, and these pens were used to sign the final agreement, the one from April 10th. And the pens were collected by Colonel Joseph Potter, Chief of Staff of the 24th Corps, and they were given to Colonel Abraham B. Lawrence, Chief Quartermaster of the Federal 24th Corps. This is the infantry flag of the 61st Virginia. Looks like it's missing a few stars over here. But yeah, they saw action at Fredericksburg, Chancellorsville, Gettysburg, the Wilderness, Spotsylvania. They were at the crater there in Petersburg. So yeah, they were in the heart of it. Here we've got a painting of the peaceful encounter between Grant and Lee one day after on April 10th, where they met to discuss the terms of parole. Leon Traveler right there. Epaulet here belonged to Captain Augustus Root of the 15th New York Infantry. He was killed on April 8th. Oh boy. Yeah, one day before it ended. An identification disc for Jeremiah Kane, 12th West Virginia Infantry, Company A. He's got his Amish beard happening there. Some grape shot and canister fired during the Battle of Appomattox Station. And then just some ammunition right here that was found along the retreat line. Battle of Sailors Creek. That would have been April 6th, just 3 days prior. Yeah, serious defeat for the Confederacy. Yeah, almost 8,000 casualties. That would have been killed, wounded, or captured. And shout out to my great-great-grandfather. That would be James Rollins Weaver. He was in the 25th Virginia Infantry. He was captured and taken to Point Lookout, Maryland. So, what a way to end the war. So the coat of Major James Gavin Field, Chief Quartermaster of the 3rd Corps Army of Northern Virginia. And yeah, I don't want to use the light on my phone anymore. It says no flash photography, but there's his tintype right there. So about 4 p.m., just after the surrender, Grant had sent a message to Lincoln letting him know the deed had been done. Yeah, within hours, people were celebrating in the streets of D.C., it says. A wagon train of U.S. military telegraph corps, Richmond, April 1865. Some fragments down here. And these pieces were discovered along Route 24, which is the road just outside here, not far from Lee's headquarters, and perhaps one of the last telegraph keys and relays used by the Army of Northern Virginia. Over here, some figurine candle holders from over at the Mclean house. Little porcelain figures. Tassels from the drapery in the parlor. All right. Mclean letter clip. Down here, surgical and dental instruments carried during the war by Smith Buttermore. He was assistant surgeon of the 31st Virginia. Oh yeah, you see the little tourniquet and the big old saw. So you know what he was doing. Over here we've got one of the parole passes. Lieutenant C.G. Thompson. And there they are. Oh yeah, just a few days later, April 15th, Lincoln died. He was shot on the 14th. Check it out. This is Lee's copy of the surrender terms. And you'll see at the top, R.E. Lee. Down at the bottom, signed by Grant. And then over here, Pieces of Lee's headquarters flag.
Would you like a map? Sure. Thank you.
So this is the sash and sword belt and buckle of General Sheridan. Pretty cool. Yeah, he was only 5'5". I didn't know that. And a Confederate ammunition chest you'll see back there. And back here, Sheridan's battle flag. Simeon Walton Harvey. Kind of crazy because my great-great-grandfather's brother was named Simeon, and I have some Waltons in my family. I'm gonna have to look this guy up, and they're out of the Farmville area. Interesting. Young man over here, Richard Hall Williams, Sergeant Major, 26th Virginia Infantry. Oh, under Governor Wise Brigade. Oh, this guy's ready for business. Ralph Woody, Captain of the 57th Virginia Infantry, Company E.
Clover Hill Tavern's the oldest building.
Alright, so we've got a section of the 24th Georgia flag cut here at Appomattox. And then over here we've got a daguerreotype of this gentleman that was taken in Richmond in December of 1864. That coat cost him $250 in Confederate money. And he only earned $90 a month, so his father helped pay for that coat. And here, these just come from some of the reunions afterward. 1914, Jacksonville, Florida. Camp St. Louis. And what is this? United Confederate Veterans, St. Louis Camp. I don't see a date on that. 1909 back there, Memphis, Tennessee. Chattanooga reunion. Pretty neat museum, and I just noticed these 4 internal chimneys. This building isn't original, but yeah, cool. This is going to be a long video, but I know you Civil War enthusiasts will enjoy it. So yeah, okay, now I can go on inside the Clover Hill Tavern. And as I said, Appomattox Courthouse was first called Clover Hill. Oh yeah, and they put some printing passes in here on April 10th. Union Army printed out 30,000 parole passes. And yeah, so this is where that took place. All right, let me go inside and check this place out. Keep the door closed. Hopefully there are not many people in here. Oh, cool, I think I have it to myself. I have to let my eyes adjust. All I see is blackness right here. Okay, so here are the printing presses. Bam. And yeah, you see the little molds for the, there's 4 of them right there for the parole passes. There's a strong wood smell in here. Here they are. Yeah, and that would get you home safely. Just checking out the room. Okay, so the little letter boxes are right there. And the term uppercase and lowercase letters come from those letter boxes. They would divide them. So, oh yeah, a little ink roller back there. Yeah, roll and press it down. And you can wash all the ink off your hands back there. Yeah. So I see some little letter drawers down there. Pretty cool. All right, yeah, this is where the parole passes were printed. Oh, they've got the upstairs roped off. Canteen over here. Okay, just a few letters right here. Pretty clear one over here. And is this original? It says it's to John Selden, I think it says, 1st Lieutenant. And the date is April 11th on this one. Over here, Private Newton Stevens of the 10th Alabama Regiment in his final years with his wife, looks like. Yeah, so this probably is original. Look how old it is. Yeah, that one's April 10th is the date on that one. April 11th back there. Oh yeah, and here's that black gentleman, the freed black man that lived in here that ran that, operated the blacksmith shop. That's him circa 1870. Big old bow tie on him. And this is a brick from his house right here. Some slag right here. And number one, this is a pencil. All right. U.S. Artillery Limber Chest, abandoned at Appomattox. U.S. it says. You see the lock right there. Had a little design there on the side. This guy's looking dandy right here. Mr. Burleigh, captain of the 1st New York Lincoln Cavalry. And check out this young boy right here, William Frierson Fulton II, the 5th Alabama Battalion. And just one more right here, Jeremiah Pearsall, 43rd North Carolina Infantry. Some neat stuff to look at over here. Some Louisiana uniform buttons. They were collected by Wiley Smith. Alright, Veterans Reunion Medals and Ribbon. Here's Wiley Smith right here, 12th Georgia Infantry. And a bullseye canteen. A regiment roll. And U.S. Field and Staff Officer sword right here. Oh, Californians have to surrender 501 men from California. Interesting. 118 were mustered out of service in May of 1865. Parole pass. Okay, another one over here. Private Watson. Bunch of U.S. uniform buttons. A curry comb. This was used to groom horses and mules. Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, it looks like things are kind of winding down a little bit in a couple buildings. I'm going to check out behind the tavern here. Old bell. Okay, so these are more modern bathrooms right here. Okay, some sort of old outhouse. I just looked it up. These bathrooms actually used to be the slave quarters. And this was the tavern kitchen. It's now being used as a bookstore. Pretty big kitchen. I don't need to walk in there, but their hours are 9 until 5. Yeah, so yeah, I hear some people talking in there. And then over here, this is the tavern guest house. And they're giving some sort of speech back there, but... Okay, so this is the other side of the guest house. They've got it closed up, and looking through the windows, looks like it's just being used for storage. Looks like. Alright, let me walk down the stage road and see what's down there. Back of the courthouse. Pretty grand staircase, you can tell that's new. And the jail. Pretty big jail. And Yeah, I can't imagine it was originally this big. I've seen a lot of these little courthouse jails and never seen one that's 3 stories, but see the barred up windows? Alright. Oh, alright, so this isn't a jail cell. And just a kind of a small bed right here. Shoes down there. Trunk, rifle. Yeah, just a really simple little spittoon down there. Really simple living quarters. And it looks like the kitchen's gonna be over here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright, so just kind of a bright, okay, I see some shackles right here, handcuffs. It'd be great if they had some coffee right there. It'd be great if they sold food here, I'm hungry. Oh, here we go. Oh, look down the ring down on the floor. Yeah, so. Yeah, okay, so yeah, these are the ones that had the bars on the windows. Pretty thick door right here. Oh, you can go inside. See some irons right there. Alright, so I'm inside the jail. Yeah, you couldn't bust your way out, it looks like. Just a big empty room here. It's pretty chilly in here. Let's see if there was we've got this locked, so yeah, I'll take you up to the 3rd level. Okay, alright. That was the Appomattox Courthouse Jail. Alright, let me go on a little further down. Sign over here says the Isabel House. And according to the map, it looks like it's best if I go down here. I'm going to see the Pierce House. And then there's a road that takes you down that way. Kind of takes you on out. So I think I'll follow that route. The Rosser House and shop sites. Yeah, there used to be a wheelwright, a blacksmith shop. Looks like the foundation possibly over here. Yeah, split rail fence. Kind of further down. And there's also the site of Grant and Lee's second meeting. And there's also a little graveyard around here. Alright, so up here I'm seeing a cannon. Brass, now green. Probably a Napoleon, maybe. Cassan behind it. And that would be the Pierce House. Yeah, and I think the road will take you. I'll wrap around and check this house out. A couple plaques over there. Yeah, so this is the Pierce House. And I guess this gate's kind of open. I think I'll just walk up and walk through over there. I don't know if this is Napoleon. I don't know enough about guns, but yeah, ammunition box back there. What does this say? 1863. 12 to 30 pounds. Small little homestead, again, kind of up on this little hill. I know you can't go inside. So it looks like it's being used as a park office now. And there's a building back there, probably used by the Park Service, I'm sure. But on the map, I have to find out how to get over there. I'll just show you the back of the house. Back of the Peters house. Another small porch back here. Nothing too special. Alright, I'm gonna walk back over and walk over there. Looks like that's where Lee and Grant met. Over here, the Chamberlain-Gordon salute, and they both oversaw, Chamberlain obviously Union General, Gordon with the Confederacy, and they oversaw the stacking of arms. So let me go down and see what this is all about. There's that Route 24 down there. And I see a sign that something's further back there. So, well, yeah, I'm going to be, what does that say? Stage Road Trail. Oh, well, I don't think I need to walk the trail. The thing's like 4 miles. And Tibble Trail is just 2/10 of a mile. And the Appomattox Wayside, quarter mile down there. Oh, so on this spot, Lieutenant General Ulysses S. Grant and Robert E. Lee met on the morning of April 10th. All right, so the day after, I think we saw a painting of that where they discussed the terms of parole. Wow, pretty cool. So I'm standing on the spot where Lee and Grant were talking. And yeah, what a great view from up here. All right, so let me see what this has to say. This is a really good painting, actually. Yeah, Chamberlain right there with his famous mustache. Gordon right there. And yeah, so April 20th was the big day for the infantry to do the stacking of arms. And they had formed in columns down, came through the little valley kind of up the stage road. Road was lined by Union officers. And Chamberlain had ordered his men to honor them. Hopefully they were going to anyway. And Gordon instantly ordered his men to return the salute. So pretty neat. So yeah, they marched into town. Oh, and this is going over Lee and Grant's meeting. Yeah, this is the painting we saw back in that little museum. 1922 painting. So first of all, this photograph is from 1890, just showing the landscape. And yeah, so this is where they met the second time that following morning, April 10th, like I say. Grant tried to urge Lee to encourage the other armies to surrender. He advised that kind of wasn't his job. I guess that was left to Jefferson Davis, although they did fall very quickly. And then they had discussed, like I said before, the terms of parole. So all the soldiers received those parole passes. They gave them free admission to all transportation on their way home. So I guess they got kind of free train tickets, maybe some of them. But yeah, I've got a video. I visited the Bennett farm down there in North Carolina, and pretty much once word got down that Lee had surrendered, that Johnston began negotiations with Sherman. There was a little back and forth. It took a couple weeks to get everything ironed out, but yeah, within a month, I think it was about 3 weeks later, he had surrendered. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me just walk down this last part of the road. What does this say? From this spot was fired the last shot from the artillery of the Army of Northern Virginia on the morning of April 9th. Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. And you know, that's an old sign right there. And yeah, this is just going over the last engagement that morning. And yeah, they were very surprised the Union cavalry had gotten all the way to the Appomattox station. Yeah, so you can pause and read if you want. But yeah, just going over that very, very final engagement. and the surrender ceremony. Okay, so it says the sketching is perhaps the most accurate representation of the surrender ceremony. And then they are down here stacking the arms. Yeah, and you see the Union soldiers. Okay, kind of folding up a flag right there, it looks like. Wow, yeah, there they are right there. Yeah, 22,000 Confederates had marched into the village and stacked their arms. Hundreds more refused to do so and simply left their weapons in the camp. April 10th through 15th, the Confederates received their paroles. The long journey home had begun. Okay, so let me see what this house is. See what this cabin was. This is the Kelly family that lived here. Oh, check it out. Stone chimney with a newer brick top put on there. All right, so circa 1855, this house was built by Lorenzo Wig Kelly, a local carpenter. And that's a fine mustache right there. Mr. Charles Kelly. Okay, Charles, Priscilla, Lawrence, and Lorenzo right there. There's Lawrence again. So here's a parole card. Yeah, April 9th. And Lawrence Kelly right there. It looks like John Robinson, it was one of the enslaved individuals. And he purchased this home in 1871. The shoemaker lived here and ran a business from his basement for over 50 years. Died in 1933. All right, well, good on him. What is this? Table of tracts of land for the year 1877. So there he is. John Robinson. There were 18 children living in the house at the time, all but 2 of them being born free. Alright, you know I'm going to have to walk around this house. Just a well over here. I'm sure this thing's been reconstructed. Alright, so obviously you had a little step up right there. Okay, so let me keep wrapping around and look at these last couple houses. Nothing too special, just an old barn. And here we go, is somebody living here? Oh, that's a serious nest right there. Pretty big complex. Oh, so this is being used as a park office also, but I'll just take a look at the buildings. Looks like it's got a little write-up right here. And this is that Isbell house that I walked past earlier. Brothers Henry and Thomas Babcock built this house in 1848. So yeah, this is when this area really blew up. That's about the same time the Mclean house was built. He was a court clerk of Appomattox, served as a okay, I think I read this right up earlier. Then became the only speaker of the Confederate House of Representatives. So there's Henry on the left, Thomas, Louis Isbell, and Louise Kitty Isbell. Yeah, I saw these. Yeah, this exact same plaque. Yeah, because I read about that guy down there who died. All right. So the back of the house, pretty grand house. And yeah, I just wish they had little signs just saying this was the outdoor kitchen. I mean, nothing special. There's some stuff in here. Oh, just storage. Okay. Yeah, like I say, this is just being used as a park office. Just wrap around. Just take a look at the front. Yeah, there's still a few people in the parking lot down there. I think everybody's kind of congregated up there to the main part up at the courthouse and of course the Mclean house. Yeah. Yeah, so just a clapboard house, 2 external chimneys flanking the sides. And you can tell this thing's got the 4/4 floor plan. Pretty cool. It looks like doors up there. Maybe, I don't know if they're real or not, but yeah, okay. Well, nice house. There's the Isbell house. Keep on going. Yeah, so just some, yeah, storage, whatnot. I think, can I cut through here? Yeah, I think I can. So this is talking about when the truce flag was brought. Pretty good picture right here. Carrying that towel that we saw earlier inside of the museum. And this is 20-year-old Lieutenant Thomas Good Jones. Here he is. Pretty dramatic picture. You've got a couple dead soldiers. And yeah, this immediately stopped the fighting. And yeah, 3 days later, Chamberlain and his command accepted the Confederate infantry's army a formal surrender. Yeah, I guess that's the stacking of the arms. Okay, let me check out this homestead. That little sign didn't really say what this building was. Another kind of composite chimney over here, stone to the brick. Pretty similar to the shoemaker's house that we saw just a little while ago. Nice little porch right here. Looks like the sun's kind of hitting it though in the later part of the day here. But I'm sure this is a reconstruction probably. So no write-up. I don't know whose house this is. That's obviously a newer part of the chimney up there. Huh. Stone foundation. Well, pretty neat little house on this ridge. Well, if you guys stuck with me, I appreciate it. That wraps it up. So, yeah, I've been here most of the day, but yeah, great site to visit. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. So, as always, like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, support me on Patreon. You can also find me on Facebook. See you on the next one.